Welcome back to another episode of UNLEARN. Today, in honor of the full moon, on today, October 6th, 2025, we are going to go through the science and the astrology of the significance of the moon. The moon, the satellite planet that occupies our night sky. According to the giant impact theory, the moon was formed about 4.5 billion years ago into space by a massive collision between the Earth and a Mars-sized object called Theia. The impact vaporized and threw and flung molten rock and metal from both the proto-Earth and Theia into orbit around the Earth. This ejected material then cooled and condensed to form the moon. The moon also experienced billions of years worth of volcanic activity, as well as eons of different comets and asteroids hitting it, causing these different craters on it. The giant impact that formed the moon is actually very significant because it actually changed the axial tilt of the Earth. This is rather important because this actually helps stabilize the climate as well as the tides. The moon's gravitational pull also slowed the Earth's rotation, leading to eventual tidal locking where one side of the Earth is always facing the moon. The history of the moon in astrology is actually very fascinating because it spans back into ancient civilizations thousands of years ago, where they were used for lunar cycle understanding to make the calendars, as well as for divinatory purposes. The moon's associations with emotion, intuition, and the subconscious mind span back into traditions of Greek and Roman philosophy, with goddesses such as Artemis as well as Diana. The Babylonians actually created the first astrological systems in about 2400 BC, observing and documenting all the different patterns to create the modern day zodiac. They primarily used a lunar calendar, however they did include some solar elements as well. Many ancient cultures, which included the Sumerians as well as the Chinese, would actually pay very close attention to lunar cycles for tracking time, planning agricultural activities, as well as aligning with religious festivals. This is why Chinese New Year begins on a new moon. During the Middle Ages, astrology was actually considered a legitimate science. Astrologers used lunar astrology to predict events, determine auspicious times for rituals, as well as provide guidance for everyday life. Fun fact, in 1666, a doctor upon graduating from medical school at the time actually had to have a significant understanding of medical astrology. With the rise in new scientific discoveries during the Age of Enlightenment within the 18th century, astrology was starting to be reviewed more as entertainment rather than a legitimate science. However, in the 19th century, there was a renewed interest in spirituality and mysticism, especially in England, which led to a revival of astrology, which actually continues on until this day. In modern day lunar astrology, a moon's position and phase in a person's birth chart are considered significant for understanding their emotional state, their intuition, and their inner needs. Take, for example, my chart. My moon is actually in the sign of Cancer, which is actually its home, since Cancer is ruled by the moon. People still do use lunar phases for many different things that are going on in the world, including ritualistic practices, enhancing mental health abilities, or essentially just cultivating some connection and just finding purpose within certain things, and just aligning their cosmic rhythm. That's why it's always good during a full moon is to release something that you want to not hold you back anymore. Once again, thank you for watching another episode of UNLEARN, and I hope you learned something.